Welcome to Coffee Charge Conversations. Today we are at Real Global Productions and we are joined by one of my special friends, Dante Gouveia, who is a bodybuilder and also just one hell of a nice person. Dante, welcome to the show.
Mike. Shot for having me, bro. Really excited to be here, bro.
So we did your first ice bath this morning. How was the experience for you?
It was actually flipping cool, bro. Like, to be honest, my toes are still, I can't feel my toes, dude. Yeah, it just feels like pins and needles on your legs, but it was chill, bro. I really enjoyed it.
And I'm sure it's also, it's something out of your comfort zone. It's not something that you do every day, but your approach to it was awesome. I mean, you looked really excited to do it. And, I've had guests that are very nervous before. I'm sure you were. I mean, I still get nervous before each ice bath, but I think you handled it brilliantly today.
No, it's pretty chill, bro. I even told you, I'm usually good with things like that. I like stepping out of my comfort zone and like doing different things. I've never done one before. I told you that. And I said I'd do 8 minutes. I don't know what I did, but I think I did pretty well, bro.
Yeah. No, 100%. And then I think, in terms of bodybuilding and stuff like that, when I met you, it was in grade 7, so 2011.
That's wild, bro.
We've known each other 13 years now. And you were a lot smaller at that stage.
I was almost invisible, bro.
You had like the Justin Bieber hair over your eyes. I mean, what got you into bodybuilding?
So, bro, actually, like you said, and I'm not talking shits when I say this, like, bro, like I remember being in, just to give an example off the top of my head, like I think it was grade 10 or 11. I remember not even being able to like donate blood, bro, because I didn't even weigh 50. And you know this, I'm not talking shit. Like, yeah, in matric, I weighed probably 50 on the dot. And like, yeah, bro, like I used to get tuned all the time, like, oh, your girlfriend has bigger legs than you and shit like that. So it was something that like it didn't, like I used to be like a gamer. It didn't really come through my mind that like, oh, I'm going to like train now just because someone said this or someone said that. But like, I do remember one of my mates, and he knows who it is. One time I told him, like, listen, I want to go train with you. And he was like, yo, why not, bro? He actually played rugby. So I was like, we were complete opposites. So it was like huge, like tall, whatever. I'm like the shortest in the grade, like you remember, tiny.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, can I please come gym with you? Like, I want to like change the way I look. He's like, yeah, for sure, bro. So I went to gym with him. I'm not even talking shit when I say that. I remember we were training chests. We go into the gym, and he's like, okay, like, now we're going to bench press. So I'm like, okay, fuck, like, I've never done something like this. I don't even know what a bench press is. Then he's like, no, like, just lift the bar and I'll help you. Bro, I'm not even talking shit. I could not lift the 20 kg bar. And he knows this, bro. I couldn't lift the 20 kg bar. That's how hectic it was. So, yeah, I started going with him every single day, and one thing led to another, and I just honestly fell in love with the process, bro. Like, yeah, literally, that's how it started.
Sheesh. And I mean, how long, when you go to gym now, how long do you normally train for? I mean, for me, I do gym more for like a mental aspect. So I hate training, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
So I'm in and out of gym like 40 minutes, max an hour. How long do you normally train for?
To be fair, I'm also like an hour and it's done. Also, like, for me, it started off as like a physical thing. Like, I wanted to look good and I want to get these chicks, and that it's nothing. It's not even about that. Like, for me, it's actually become a mental thing now. Like, if I don't go to gym one day, I'm in my mind, I'm like, shit, like, I didn't go to gym. Like, it messes my mind up. Like, I do it more for a mental thing now, and now the physical just comes with it. So before it used to be the other way around. Now it's more of a mental thing.
You're doing it for the six pack, and I'm gonna go on the beach, take my shirt off, I'm gonna look good. Exactly.
Now I'm like, shit, I don't even care about that. I honestly just do it for a mental thing. Like, I go to gym, like I wake up, I do my cardio, I do this, I've become so, it's normal for me now, And if I skip that routine, it messes my head up, and I literally,
What kind of like psychological benefits have you learned? How has it impacted you mentally?
In so many ways. Like, for example, like if you go to the gym, for me, the gym is like the fairest place in the world. Like the work you put in is what you're going to get out. But also the work, what people don't understand is it's not even like the gym. The work comes after you're done with the gym. Like you're eating, people think, oh, you just need to train, like it's an hour a day or whatever. No, the work actually starts after the training. Like your sleep, your eating, all of that. Like I know exactly what time I need to eat. I know what I'm gonna eat. And some people like always say, oh, I don't know how you do that. For me, it's so normal. Like I don't even think about what I'm gonna eat because I know what I'm gonna eat. It's like another thing that's like I don't need to think about that. I can think about other things now, and that for me carries on to like other aspects of my life. Like with your job, for example, it's taught me like how to be like how to set goals, how to be disciplined, how to follow a routine. And if you can move that to other parts of your life, that's actually the most important thing. That's what it's taught me the most of. It's not just about the gym and things like that, but I've learned to carry that over to other parts of my life, which I find is very beneficial. And that's why I also relate to a lot of people that look good and train hard, because I know that that person's got what it takes and they're hard workers, bro. Like, and it's a topic of conversation, As soon as I see someone like that, like we relate to each other straight away.
And maybe that's like a bit of a misconception sometimes, because I think some companies might see someone, who's like shredded, they've got the tattoos like you do and whatever, and they go like, I don't know if this is like the kind of guy we're looking for.
That's true. It's like a stereotype.
But meanwhile, you're more disciplined with your goals and what you want than they probably are.
Yeah. That's probably because they haven't tried to do it, Like they haven't tried to, like, I promise you, try stick to a plan. When I mean try stick to a plan, I mean like try follow a gym routine and eating and sleep for like, try do that for 3 months. It is so difficult, bro. It's so difficult. And that's where your mental comes in.
Yeah. I think it's probably, I mean, it's not the same, but it's what I can relate it to is kind of like the ice bath.
Yeah.
It's like you do something that you don't normally do, whatever, but your mind tells you, I've had enough of this, like I want to get out.
Yeah.
And you've got to push through that and know that it's just like your
you
inner critic talking to you.
You have to carry on. Exactly. That's literally exactly. You just have to carry on step by step, and also a very hard thing is that sometimes you can't see your changes like daily. So it's your mind. You have to like envision yourself. Like for me, like when I was in matric, I weighed 50. I ever thought I'd be like, oh, I want to compete. I'm going to be on stage one day, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I never thought that, but I envisioned that, Like you can't see your changes every single day, but you have to push through because you believe that you can look like that or be like that. You know what I mean?
And I mean, in the car, we were briefly discussing like a little bit of your progress in the bodybuilding competitions.
Yeah.
When you first started, you said, I think you said you came 6th. And then as you kept going, it just built momentum and you were always progressing. Do you want to explain that a little bit?
Yeah. So, that's the thing. Like, I set a goal for myself when I started like training and everything like that. I set a goal for myself to, okay, I want to weigh this much and everything like that. Then I got a coach and everything. And my goal, eventually, I just fell in love with it, and I just wanted to try stepping on stage because something like way out of my comfort zone. I don't like being in front of a lot of people and being like the center of attention. That's like my worst. That's way out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, shit, this is something I have to do. So I did it, and it was horrible. I came like 6th or something like that, and this was in the juniors. In my proper lineup, I came maybe like 11th or something like that. But then I was like, okay, like I'm not going to let this bring me down. I know what I need to work on. Let me carry on. So I think a year after that or 2 years after that, I came 3rd. Then the year after I came 2nd. The year after that I came 2nd. And then in December I actually won. So I was very happy, and I competed in overalls for the first time. So I was super chuffed about that. So now the goal is to eventually win overalls. Yeah.
And what is overalls like?
So overalls is like, so you get different classes like in bodybuilding, and the winner of each class competes in overalls. So your class is like your height. So I'm in one class because I'm a certain height, and then there's another class that's a bit taller, a bit taller, a bit taller, and the winners of all of those lineups compete in overalls. So I won my lineup, therefore I get to compete in overalls. So that's how overalls work. And this overalls, so there's 6 lineups, so there were 6 people in overalls. I probably came, I'd say, 5th or 6th, but I was in overalls, and I look at myself back like 4 years ago, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you felt like the smallest person
bro,
at the gym.
Insane, yeah. So I'm not saying like I'm anywhere where I want to be, but the point is like I did it, bro. Like this is what I wanted to do, you know? Like I'm not a massive guy. I don't even consider myself a bodybuilder, but it's a challenge that I wanted to do. And one day like I'll win overalls. Like I know that already.
And some people say, like how we were talking about the mental aspect, some people say that the heaviest weight at the gym is the weight of the front door.
Yeah.
And I mean, for you, how do you feel like you get through those difficult days where you wake up and you might have been doing it for a week or 2 or whatever every day, and one day it just hits you and you're like, I really don't feel like going today. How do you battle with those demons in your head?
But to be honest, like I said, it's so embedded with me that it's just a routine. Like the first thing I do, I get out of bed. First of all, the trick I found, because I used to feel that way. And then, like, for example, I think we all do this, like your alarm goes off and then you look at your phone and you like snooze it for a bit. But I found a trick, like I'll leave my phone like far away so that it forces me to get up and turn the alarm off. And once I'm up, I know I'm up. From there, I go straight to the gym and do cardio. Like I just have to move. Like I said, it's more of a mental thing. It's not even about what I look like or anything. Not for me, it's just a mental thing now. Like it's weird. It started off as physical and now it's just mental. Like I have to get up and I have to move. I have to do this. I know I have to eat at this time. I have to go to gym at this time. It's an obsession, bro.
And you spoke like a little bit about sleep as well. How does sleep affect your training and your everyday life?
Sleep is like recovery. Like sleep's everything. That's your muscles don't actually grow in the gym. They grow when you recover. So sleep's everything, bro. Like resting's the most important thing.
I've found that out as well, just in a personal sense. Like, if I even go for like a few beers or whatever, the way it affects my sleep, like I check my body battery in the morning and it's screwed,
Yeah, exactly.
And if I, like in varsity and stuff like that, I'd go to bed maybe 1 o'clock, unless I was going out, then it was 4 or 5 o'clock sometimes. But I've realized how important it is to get those as many hours as you can before midnight. Yeah. Because that's where you actually get the impact the next day.
But I'm talking like this, but I'm only super strict when obviously I'm prepping for like a competition. When I'm not prepping for a competition, I'm more like I go out with my friends. I don't drink though, as you know, but like I still go out with my friends. And
unless you're in Thailand.
Unless I'm in Thailand, bro. Now, December's a different story, but throughout the year, I'm pretty strict, but like if my family wants to go for dinner and stuff, obviously I'll go. When I prep, I don't. But when I prep, it's only maybe 10 weeks, 8 weeks until that show. That's when I'm super strict. And like my body will work like clockwork. Like I know everything that happens. Like I can change something simple, like changing 20 grams of rice. I will notice a difference in my body because I do everything to the T. I measure every single thing, bro. And I find that so interesting when you prep. Yeah. And that's what I've fallen in love with, like what your body can do, like what certain foods do for you. Like it's honestly insane. Like I swear, like 20 grams of rice will make a difference in my body. And you notice it after you do something so consecutively.
Do you feel like the foods you eat affect like your mental clarity?
Yeah, definitely. But not when you prep. Prepping is not healthy, bro. Like going this extreme is not healthy. It's not healthy for your body at all. Like I believe in balance. Like you need to be balanced. Yeah. And that's how I go like my whole year. But when I want to do a competition, then I'll do these 8 weeks properly. But it's not healthy. I don't think it's healthy at all. You're taking your body to like extreme levels where like you're actually tired. You don't feel like doing anything. You don't have a social life. None of that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's not healthy, but it's something like I want to see where my body can take me. You know what I mean? And every time I do it, I look different. So it's like I want to see what I can look like next year, for example. Yeah. But throughout the year, like I'm very chilled. Like I said, I go out, I do whatever.
And what does your average day look like in terms of like the foods you eat, how often you eat, what you eat, and like, you know, the portions?
So like on a normal day, or like when I prep.
No, when you're prepping, I guess.
So when I prep, I'm not gonna lie when I tell you, you're gonna think I'm crazy. I've been eating the same thing for maybe 3 years. No joke.
Every
bro.
day.
Every day. The only thing that changes is the quantities.
Okay.
So, bro, I swear.
So when you get up in the morning, like explain your day of like what you would eat.
Everything.
And like the timing, all of it.
So first thing in the morning. So I'll get up. I'll do my cardio like fasted. If I'm like in off season, like now, I'll actually I'll just go for a walk in my States. I'll walk for like 45 minutes to an hour, and then I'll come home. I'll have breakfast. That's like cereal, normal cereal with a bit of milk, nothing hectic. A banana. Actually, I crush the banana and put it in the freezer, so it makes it like a biscuit. You see, like I've learned how to make my food work for me. Like
Yeah.
most people think of it as a diet. For me, it's a lifestyle. Like
Yeah.
like I make my food like nice. Like people who have like come to my house and shit, I've made them my food and they're like, dude, this is actually insane. Like I use different sauces. Like if I get bored, I use this sauce. I cook it with this spice. I make it different, but it's the same food. It's still like I eat like rice and steak, chicken and potatoes. I've literally been doing that for 3 years. Just the quantities change.
And when do you have like your first meal? When's your last meal? How many meals do you have in a?
So I'll have 5 meals a day, every day, 5 meals.
Jeez.
And the first one will be like around like 9, 10, and then I'll eat every 3 hours after that.
Because I mean, I've been out with you or whatever, or we've gone to someone's house and it's like 11 o'clock at night, and there you are with the new type of food, like.
You see,
You know, and you're not even hungry sometimes, but you do it because you're that disciplined.
And like I don't even have to do that. It's just like I said, it's a mental thing. If I don't do it, I feel like I'm failing myself, bro, almost. And it's not always a good thing. So that's why sometimes your relationship with food, like after competition, my relationship with food is horrible. Like I'll go out and binge, like, dude, I'll eat everything. Like after my show in December, I was in Cape Town with my mates. He came with me, bro. We literally fell asleep, like with food. We woke up. I can't remember falling asleep. We woke up with food all over the bed. Like we ate ourselves to sleep.
Yeah.
Like that's so bad, dude. Like we got KFC, we got Cinnabon, we went to Spur, we got milkshakes. Dude, I'm not even joking. Like overboard. Like you look at this and you'd be like, yolks are pigs. And bro, it's just how it is. It's that's what I'm saying. It's not healthy. Like it's not healthy at all.
And cardio? Do you include cardio in your workouts? How important is that for you?
No, I don't really include cardio the whole year unless I'm prepping, obviously, and that will only come in like 6 weeks, towards the show. But that's also because I'm so strict throughout the year. Well, strict, like not as strict as when I'm prepping, but because I still eat all my meals and everything like that, I don't need to do cardio so early on, and I can let that go over for like 6 weeks out. I'll start doing my cardio, and that's usually like doesn't go over 30 minutes, and that's walking on a treadmill. Incline treadmill walking, that's the most cardio I ever do.
And do you do that separate to your normal training session? So you do like 2 sessions in a day?
Yeah.
Like cardio and weights?
I'll do cardio in the mornings, like before I start like my work and stuff. I wake up early, go to gym, do 30 minutes incline walk, come home, eat, and then I'll start work and start my day. I know what I'm going to eat. So my day is like, everything's planned, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And for people like me that aren't like necessarily big, like looking to bulk up, gain a bit of size, increase muscle mass, what kind of tips would you have?
Just like, I could get so technical, but like you just have to find out your BMR and see what your maintenance calories are, and then you can literally just increase it. If you want to bulk, for example, 200, 300 calorie surplus, and you can take it from there. That's the thing is, you just have to be really strict. Like you're not going to notice a lot of changes, and this is why people sometimes just stop after like 2 weeks. Most people, I've helped a lot of people with like meal plans and things like that, but after 2 weeks they just stop. They're like, oh, it's not what I expected. It's hard. Like you only start noticing changes. Like it's a long game. It's like it's a marathon, not a sprint. Like, and people don't understand that. They expect it's going to be like a quick change, you know.
And like, what do you tell yourself mentally when you are going through like a difficult training session that you're not like, you know, it's just one of those days you're not enjoying?
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like like most people that train will know, like your hardest days are your leg days, bro.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing. I always like, for example, for legs, I have to like psych myself up to do one of those sessions because you know you're going to put yourself through like a very uncomfortable period of time. But like I said in the beginning, you almost have to like envision what you're going to feel like afterwards. And what you know you're going to be in an uncomfortable situation. But if you envision yourself afterwards, how good do you feel like after the ice bath?
Yeah.
It's an uncomfortable situation, but how nice did it feel after?
I mean, afterwards, honestly,
Right?
I walk into the parking lot and I just feel like no one can.
Even I told you, I was
No
like,
one
dude,
can
I'm on
tell
top
me
of the
anything.
world.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing. Like in the beginning, you have to like psych yourself up.
Yeah.
You watch like a cool gym video, put some sick tracks.
Yeah.
And then you go into the gym and you know it's going to be like very uncomfortable. But afterwards, you feel on top of the world. And it gives me that buzz for like the rest of the day.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%. I mean, the one day I walked out and we were like just about to go to the cricket. And you know they got that Betway SA20 tournament going on, and if you get like the one-handed cash, you get a share of 2 million.
Yeah.
And I walked out like into the parking lot. I was just like, if someone had to belt a cricket ball at me right now, I'm gonna catch it. Like there's no ways I'm gonna drop it. And like it's hard to have that feeling every day in things that you do, but I think certain habits that you start putting into your life help you to get there.
Yeah, definitely. You also have to be like really positive, and that ties into like your mindset. Like the way I like to see mindset is like, think of your favorite pair of sunglasses, right? If you put on your sunglasses, it kind of like it will tint the world in like a dark shade, right? And that's someone who's like pessimistic. Like we all know this one person who like, you'll be on the beach and they'll be complaining about why the food's taking so long.
And it's so hot today, and like, meanwhile it's like sunny out.
They forget everything around them, right?
Yes.
But now the opposite goes, if you're a very optimistic person and you're wearing like, for example, rose gold sunglasses, that's how you view the world, right? And that's the way I like to see things. You need that person that has those tinted sunglasses doesn't actually realize they have those tinted sunglasses. But if you start to realize and start like saying to yourself that you can do certain things, that's your mindset, and mindset can actually trigger action. So in the morning, like I always tell myself, like my alarm will go off, and that's why I put my phone far away. I know I have to get up and turn that off. That's action. That's your mindset saying, get up, turn that off. And if you know that, if you can swap those sunglasses around, if you know what I'm saying, you become a more positive person, and you know like what you need to do, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I agree, and I also think a lot of people, using the same kind of analogy, people see the world through one pair of glasses.
Yeah.
And that's the way they view everything.
Yeah.
And it's quite hard. Some people, you're never going to change their opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it's quite important to try be as curious and as empathetic as you can be in today's world, to understand
100%
other people.
100%. But it's also up to you. Like, for example, your mindset can't change like things around you. Can't change your environment, for example. Like for random example, can't change poverty, but your mindset can empower you to take action on yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's exactly, it goes back to like that example from school. Like, dude, I couldn't even donate blood because I didn't even weigh 50, but I took action to do something. You know, I was positive about it. I wasn't like, oh, I can't do this, I'm not gonna be this, you know, like always sulking about certain things. I was like, dude, why not? Like, let me give it a shot. And that's why I asked Ahmed from school, you'll know him as well. And I was like, dude, like, let me come to gym with you and see, like, let me just try it.
Yeah.
And that's literally, all it took was that action, that me saying, let me go to gym with you, to look what I've done. And dude, I've like stepped on stage, I've done a prep, and that carries over to so many aspects of my life, if not all of it.
But I think by taking that risk also, like when I first met you, you came from Portugal to South Africa. I was actually the first person that you met at our school.
That's wild.
And I had to like show you around the school a little bit. I remember you sat next to me in your first lesson, and then it was break afterwards. We went to go play soccer as we normally would in like grade 7. You know, it was very competitive. And I think like the only thing you could say was like, I come from Madeira and
Right.
Cristiano Ronaldo and
Bro, it's so hectic.
we play football and sometimes
My
I chat
English
to
is
him
horrible,
and
bro.
I was like, shit, this guy's gonna struggle a little
No,
bit.
bro, it was scary, dude. Like, like, but that's the thing. Like, when you think you have your life like all together, like I lived. This. I lived on an island, bro. Like, you think that's your life. Like, I lived
Yeah.
off a little island off the coast of Portugal. Like, you think that's all you have. Those are the friends you've got. That's gonna be your life now. You're gonna grow old with these oaks. Like, there's only a certain amount of people on the island. And now all of a sudden I was 13, 14, and now my parents are like, listen, we're moving to South Africa. Dude, that was so scary, dude. Like,
Yeah.
your whole environment changes around you. It's like,
You
yeah,
have to learn. You have to learn a new language,
bro.
as
Like, I
well.
could barely speak English. My accent was so
Yeah.
funny, dude. And yeah, it was scary. Like, I literally cried for like 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, I thought my whole flipping world was gonna end. You think that's all you have, and now you're going out to this other place that you didn't even know flipping was there. Like, you have to learn how to make new friends again, and like, it was scary. Like, when I walked into the school, I'm like, geez, what the hell is this? We never even had to. We wore civvies every day at school there.
Yeah.
And like, you come here and like, everything was so different. Like,
And
so
now I
different.
can see how your whole mindset shifted. I mean, now you just went to Thailand for 6 weeks. Like, any opportunity to travel, go see a new culture, see a new place, like, you jump on that opportunity. And it's crazy to see how your mindset shifted from, you saying like you cried for 2 weeks, not knowing how you're going to handle it, where now you like to embrace like any new opportunity that comes your way. And perhaps some of that's also got to do with gymming. I think, maybe that helped you from a self-confidence point of view. What would you say?
Yeah, I'd also like move it. It's obviously very difficult. Like, if you, like I said, if you have your whole life, if you think your whole life's together, taking that risk for something that you don't know if it's going to work out or not is very difficult, And yeah, coming to South Africa was so difficult. Like, to make new friends and everything like that, it was hectic, bro. But I did it, and I think that had a huge impact on me. Massive impact in the most positive way ever. Like, and that's it. I also think that's what sparked me being like a yes man, dude. You know me, I say yes to everything. Like, even coming out with you, I even told you, I was like, dude, like, I'm nervous for this. Like, I've never done anything like this.
100%.
It's an uncomfortable feeling, and that's why I wanted to do it, because it's foreign to me. Like, last year I did the craziest shit. Like, dude, I went shark cage diving. I did skydiving. Dude, I paraglided off a mountain in Cape Town. I went to Thailand and did the craziest shit. Like, it's taught me to say just yes to everything, to have new experiences. It teaches you so much about yourself. Like, skydiving, for example. When I tell people this, they were like, dude, you are flipping crazy. Like, there's no way you can do that, whatever. Dude, when you jump off that plane, you'll actually be so surprised. It's quiet. Like, you think it's like, wow, like, fuck, like this and that, it's adrenaline. It's the most quiet thing ever.
You actually feel a bit
I was shocked.
peace,
I was like, I was like, you're falling off a plane, but it's the most quiet thing you can ever experience. You see, I would have never known that before.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I can relate to that, because I think for me as well, my brain often tells me, like, how you have like a survival instincts and stuff, and that's where like your fear, doubt, anxiety, all of that comes from. And like, sometimes I'm in a situation, and in school I felt like I like to go under the radar, and I obviously missed out on a lot of great opportunities because of it. And I think looking back now, I've just seen those opportunities, like chatting to a good looking girl or something, that fear in your head makes it way worse than it actually is.
Yeah.
Or for me, even if I knew the answer to a question in maths class and I was 99% sure I was right, most of the time was too scared to put up my hand.
Yeah, just in case you were wrong.
In case I was wrong, because I was so scared of everyone judging me and the way that they would perceive it. And now I've just realized, You know, how you
Yeah,
build
why
things
care?
up in your head all the time.
Exactly.
And I think, so my question to you, obviously we were speaking about like how disciplined your schedule is and how hard you have to work and stuff like that and train. I know that you're also working at the moment at a crypto company. How do you find time to, you know, find peace and prioritize self-care amidst like a very busy disciplined schedule?
Yeah, so I would say you need to figure out firstly what you want. So the difference between what you want and what you want to want is everything, right? So what you want is like the way you've grown up, path of least resistance. For example, if I want to sleep with that chick there, that's normal because we're biologically made to think that way. Now, what you want to want is like your highest vision of yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what you
like
want,
your full potential.
what you see yourself as your full potential.
Yes.
So you have to distinguish between those two things. Okay. So for example, let me use an example. Like, I don't know, I want to eat this pizza now, but I want to just have my meal and go to bed. See? Now, I'm not saying I don't do that. I mean, we all like to eat a fucking cookie and shit.
Yes.
Like, I do that a lot, more than people actually think. But
yeah.
that's, you need to distinguish between those two and see, like, what you want to do in life and, like, try separate that. Like, I still have my fun and everything, but
Yeah.
when it's time to work, I work. When it's time to, like, have fun, I have fun.
Like
And
a work hard, play hard.
work hard, play hard. Like I told you earlier, during the year, I do my shit properly. And then, like, for example, I'll plan like a trip somewhere or like a holiday, and that's my time to like let go a bit, you know. Like, I'll still gym there because you see, it's a mental thing. I still have to do that.
Yeah.
But like, I'll still like, I'll drink in December, for example, like, and I'll go with my mates and I'll do whatever they want to do, and like, I'm a bit more like, I do like normal things with my friends. I'm more social, you know.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. You need to have that balance.
And I think
in your life.
I think on like social media, it's like we were even discussing earlier how toxic it can be.
Yeah.
And how you can compare yourself to other people. I find like success is a term that's used often.
Yeah.
But everyone has a different definition of it.
Yeah.
What is success for you?
To me, being successful is that's not even about it. For me, being successful is freedom. If you have freedom to do what you want when you want, that to me is success. Like, I can decide, okay, like, not being tied to something, you know what I mean? That's being successful for me. You see, that's my opinion. To be free, to have freedom. So yeah, that's just being free, doing what you want, going on holiday when you want, doing this, doing that. I have a remote job, so I'm lucky. I wanted that, so I looked for that. You know what I mean? So now that I have that, I can do these things. Like, when I was on holiday now for 6 weeks, everyone was like, "Oh, dude, how the hell you're always on holiday?
How much money do you have?"
Yeah, you're always on holiday. I was working, dude. I was working. Obviously, you see, it goes back to social media. I don't post that I'm working. I'm posting like I'm having all this fun and shit. And obviously, everyone on social media posts their best things.
Yeah.
I was still working, dude. I don't post that because fuck, I don't know. You know, it's boring. That's not what engages people, you know?
Yeah. And I think everyone that kind of has a different definition of success. But do you think the definition, I think especially with our generation, perhaps it's evolving that, you know, it's not just grind, work hard, like get to where you want to be, blood, sweat and tears, like they show you on Instagram.
Yeah.
I think you can do that for your whole life. You can do that however long that life is, we have no idea.
Yeah.
But you could do that until you're 60, and then
Yeah.
you wait till you can retire at 60, and you build your whole life just telling yourself, I'm gonna get there, and then it's gonna be awesome. But all that stress you've put your mind through and your body through at that stage might that might kill you.
Exactly.
And you die.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I like a quote. Something that I really live by is, work to live, don't live to work. A lot of people just live to work, and then, like you say, they work until they're 60, then they retire, then what? Like, what are you going to do when you're 60?
Yeah.
That's why I live by that saying, like, just enjoy your life, enjoy every moment. Like, you never know when your last day is gonna be. Like, just have fun, do everything you can, just do it. You know.
Yeah.
That's I've realized that these last 2 years, like, that's why I've been doing everything. I've been saying yes to everything. Like, do you want to go there? Yes. Do you want to eat that? Yes. Do you want to do this? Yes. Do you want to come on my podcast? Yes. Even though it scares me, bro.
You ate crocodile in Thailand.
I ate a crocodile, I ate scorpions, I ate everything, bro. But yeah, like, it's about getting out your comfort zone as well.
But I think it's also, when you say yes to everything, there's a difference between people pleasing and like being a yes man, as in someone who is conquering his fears or her fears, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's also important to live according to your values.
Yeah. 100%.
So you can't just say yes
to
something that's, you know, completely offline to who you are.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm also trying to find the balance between, one of the things I've been struggling with currently is finding the balance between like having like adventure and also having adventure and variety, and the balance between that and the balance between having like a routine and achieving my goals, because the goals that I want to achieve, you need like that routine. So I'm struggling with finding that balance, and I want to like we spoke earlier, both of those. I want both of those, and I'm trying to figure out which one it is. And I think the best thing to do there is make it like periodic, and that's what I did last year. So I did my routine, I did everything the whole year, and then in December, that's when I did the other one. I had adventure and I had all my experiences and things like that. So that's a way I can look at it, but I think that will also come with time. Like, I'm still young, I'm still going to see, like, you know, where my life's going to go and things like that.
I think we get that vision from like movies and stuff. Everything's like, every rom-com you watch, every movie, every action movie you watch has got to be exciting the whole time. Like, you know, life is a complete adventure. And I like want to look for adventure in every day as much as I can.
Exactly.
But at the same time, like, there's power in routine.
Exactly.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
If you check Warren Buffett, the way he invested his money was the most boring thing he could have done. He could have easily gone for this next big thing that's offering 20% returns and, you know, go into like some company that's a startup. He went with companies he believed in, and he put the same kind of amount away automatically out of his bank account, and it's boring. So on social media, they're not going to tell you like, this is the way you should invest your money. They're gonna like try get you with like, you know, take a risk now and do that, and
things that will capture your attention. No one wants to see the same things over and over every day. Your same life over and over and over again. You know what I mean? People like seeing new things. Oh, look, they're doing this, or I'm doing that. You know, it's exciting. It excites you. That's what like fires me up, in my opinion.
I mean,
I like doing new things.
Crypto is like, I invest in crypto, and I think crypto is awesome. I really do. But you know, it's a lot more volatile than like investing in Apple, for example.
Definitely, yeah.
And I think that's what gets a lot of people hooked, is they start going, oh, I can make double my money in 6 months.
Exactly.
And then
it's excitement, right?
They pour all their money there and it doesn't work out. It's
which
like,
happens,
you know,
a lot.
Yeah, because they're just fantasizing about how great it would be to say, oh, I took a risk and it completely paid off. But sometimes doing that routine, that boring thing,
that's what you have to do.
That's what you have to do. In relationships, I think it's quite similar as well.
It's the exact same thing.
Everyone wants to be like, girls want to be swept off their feet and whatever. You've got to have a bit of like romance, and you know, like, you got to be spontaneous at times.
You have to be spontaneous, keep it exciting.
But also, it can't just be that, and then you don't have like deep conversations.
You can't live like that forever and keep that lifestyle up. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Sometimes routine is like, if you meet your girlfriend and you go out all the time versus, you know, you actually realize that you both don't want to spend all your money on alcohol, for example. Like, there's nothing wrong with setting a routine of,
Definitely,
of things. It might not be as exciting. You might just sit and watch a Netflix movie together sometimes.
Exactly. But that's nice sometimes. Like if you just chill, watch a movie. But that's not what people see on social media. Like who the hell is gonna post you and your chick watching fucking a movie?
Yeah.
But you will post if you like go out somewhere or you go on holiday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or you go to like a really nice place for dinner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, that's a normal thing to do, you know. So social media does play a big role, I think, in everything nowadays, to be honest. Social media is everything. Like your social status and everything like that plays a massive role.
And we spoke a little bit about like self-care, taking time out for yourself. Obviously COVID was one of those times where pretty much everyone was forced to go inwards and start reflecting. What is the biggest lesson that you learned when you were by yourself in COVID?
That's when COVID happened. That's actually when I got into crypto, because I was, there was nothing to do. I'm looking at the news and like all these people lost their jobs, everything like that. Or these people are like, everyone lost their jobs. There was nothing to do. And I was like, dude, there must be a way that people are making money. Like, what was that? I think it was like the richest people got even richer and the middle class got poorer. And I was like, dude, how the fuck does that happen? You know what I mean? And then that's when I started like researching shit. I even got into drop shipping for a bit. That didn't work. I tried everything. And then I found crypto. And I took time to like study it. And I actually learned a lot and like a little bit of the technology behind it and things like that. Like I'm not an expert or anything, but that's what I do today. I actually work for a crypto company now, and I took my time to actually understand it. And every time I talk to someone about it, they're like, "Oh no, that's a scam. I lost so much money. My granny lost this much." Dude, like what is crypto? You don't even know what it is. You know, you just heard of these oaks making millions or these oaks losing millions.
And it's always like seen as luck. It's like sometimes you take a risk because you believe in it and it pays out. Sometimes it doesn't. But I don't think that's always luck. Like sometimes it's actually just intuition, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You sometimes you can actually make your own luck, you know what I mean? Like my mate once said, if you don't risk it for the biscuit, how are you going to buy the bakery, bro?
I like that, actually.
It's true. Like sometimes you have to risk things. And I was also in that stage in my life where like I don't really have any expenses. I don't have kids, like anything like that. So it's a risk that I took, and I really enjoyed being in this industry.
And obviously it's important when you becoming, you taking more risks and stuff like that in your life, you doing new activities, new adventures, you want to surround yourself with the right kind of people. Do you think it's important to surround yourself with like-minded people?
100%, because I mean that's your environment essentially. So your environment can be anything from like the people you hang around with, your friends. It can even be your home. It can be anything. So like they say, like you are the combination of the 5 closest people around you, and that's so true. Like it honestly depends. Like, and I find myself, I have different friend groups that I will hang around with when I want certain things. Like I have my gym mates where I'll hang around and we'll chat about like ourselves and like our progress and things like that. Then I have my mates that just go out and drink all the time. Then I have mates that we talk about like other stuff. You know what I mean? So I have different groups, and that's your environment, and that will affect like the opinions you have on the world, the way you view yourself, the way you view things, the decisions you make. That has a massive effect on you.
But sometimes being around like-minded people can get you stuck, because sometimes you might see the world in the same way and you just continue to stay with the same people who have the same kind of
that's so true
thoughts about things. And sometimes you just need one person that brings in another aspect that you go, holy shit, I never thought about that.
And that's comfort at the end of the day. When you're doing the same thing over and over, it's same people, same this, same that, that's comfort. I don't know if you've heard of like the region beta paradox.
I haven't.
It's like, it tells you that like sometimes worse situations can be better than better situations. So for example, if you're in a relationship and like, for example, it's not good, but it's not great. They're not abusive, but they support you, but you don't really love them that much. Or if you live in an apartment that's like almost falling down, it's expensive, it's got mold on the walls, but at the same time, it's close to your work. Sometimes for those people, if they were in worse situations, it would force them to get out of that environment. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if the apartment was, you couldn't live in it at all, you would be forced to do something about that and move somewhere else. You know what I mean? So sometimes worse situations can be better than better situations. Do you know what I'm saying?
But that's almost something you got to get through on your own.
100%.
I mean,
so that's what region beta is. It's a bubble of comfort where it sits in the middle between something that's not good, but you're not going to really do anything about it.
Yeah.
Or it's not great where you're like, flip, this is awesome. It sits right in the middle and it's comfort. It's acceptable. So you just kind of like float through life.
Yeah, with no vision.
With no vision,
purpose.
you're just floating through life. And that goes back to like, nowadays things are so easy. Like, for example, you can Uber Eats your McDonald's while sitting on a couch that you got from Take-A-Lot, watching a winning award series or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everything's so, and it numbs your surroundings and everything around you, because you don't even have to move off this couch and you can probably get anything you want.
That's where routine becomes dangerous, and comfort, and living in that comfort zone. And I think we all naturally, not everyone, but majority of people want to do things that are comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, it gives them a sense of ease. As soon as something's out of your control, you get
They're
that.
scared.
It feels like you've been winded, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, even for me, that's why I'm trying to always do new things. Like, if you look at the most successful people, for example, like I even told you this in the car before we did the ice bath.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan, bro, like he has all the money in the world. He has everything he wants. He could literally float through life. But every day he does like these mad kettlebell workouts and does ice baths below freezing. He gets it below freezing by adding salt, like I told you.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? You see, people, even if you're the most successful oak, you still want to challenge yourself to do certain things. Otherwise, it's boring, you know? It's too easy. Like you want to challenge yourself and get out of your comfort zone and do things. That's what fulfills everyone. You know what I mean?
And how do you know if you are around the right friend group? Like, how do you know if your friends are actually being beneficial
That's
to you?
That's a tough one. It's up to you. It's up to you to decide whether they're the right people for you. Like, yeah, some people can be really good. Like I said, because those people will affect the way that you think and the way that you view certain things. And that can sometimes be toxic. But when you hang around a good friend group, it can actually benefit you, and you can think about new things, or maybe like open up a business with these oaks. Like it sparks conversations and things like that.
I mean, I've found that, you know, sometimes people's lives cross just randomly, you know, and you meet someone and you go, wow, like their perspective really influenced me. I mean, one of my friends, he's now big into rock climbing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'd never have thought about doing rock climbing. And now, like, I just see how passionate about it he is. And, like, it's like his favorite thing to do now. He'll go for rock climbing for 4 hours. And, like, it's just nice to surround yourself with people that have, like, that open mindset. Like, it's something they haven't done before, but, you know, let's try it.
Exactly. And that's also why I like traveling, because you experience new people from all ends of the world. You have the craziest conversations about like what they do, or like their life experiences. And like I said, it sparks certain things in you. Like, not even that, like imagine, like, for example, like if you travel somewhere and then you come back and then like 5 years later, like you smell something, for example, and you're like, flip, I remember that smell. And you're like, shit, that was when I was in some market in Vietnam or something, having this conversation with that person.
Flashbacks of Nam, eh?
Dude, it just brings things back, and it sparks different things. That's why it's dangerous being in a comfort bubble where like nothing new happens. Because then your brain's just there. You're not learning new things, you know what I mean?
And I mean, I think in today's society, it's very easy to ghost people, just, you know, cut people out of your life completely. And sometimes if you're on the other end, you don't really get that closure that you're looking for. How do you disconnect from people that, you know, maybe once were close friends, and you've realized, I don't really want this person in my life often anymore?
Yeah. it's happened to me, like when I prep, for example, and like people would invite me to parties and things, and I had to be like, dude, I can't, like I'm prepping now, this and that. So that happened to me often, where I had mates where they completely stopped inviting me because I wouldn't come. But that's my decision, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it's up to you to decide who you want to be around, and if that person's not benefiting your life, then they gotta go, bro.
Yeah, I think it's a support system at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Like
if they're not doing anything for you.
if you've got goals and that person, even if they don't really understand your goals,
Yeah.
but they're just happy that you're doing what you believe is good for you, and they'll tell you when you're stepping out of line. Then I think you at least like chilling around the right kind of people.
100%, bro.
And I think, so in closing, I just wanted to ask you, we've been talking a little bit about comfort zones and learning new things. What is one skill, take your time with this one, what is one skill that you want to master this year that you haven't really mastered before?
One skill would probably be something I've been thinking about for a while, is like starting a TikTok and just posting like my workouts and shit. That to me scares me. I can't even speak in front of a camera. None of that, bro. So
look at you today.
No, I know. I'm quite impressed with myself, bro. Like, that's one thing I want to do. I've been thinking about it for a while. I just don't know like how to start it, but that's something I want to do. Like post videos and like speak about myself and my life and shit, and like my training and shit like that. That's one thing I want to master. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And I think you've definitely got a growth mindset, and I can see when I speak to you how passionate you get about when you're talking about bodybuilding and things that really resonate with you. And most of all, I just want to say thanks for today. Thanks for your time, your energy, your presence, and for being so authentic. Sometimes it's hard to be vulnerable in front of a camera and you're worried about what other people think. It happens to everyone. And I think today was just such an awesome conversation. I really enjoyed it. And shout out to Real Global Productions for an awesome day out.
Mike. I just want to say thanks for like getting me out of my comfort zone. I never thought I'd do something like this. Shout, Mike.
No, you did it yourself. Cool. Cheers.